Hi, we're so awkward. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Rachel.
Merry Christmas!
Ho, ho, ho!
Welcome to our December episode. We're really excited about this because we are going to be making an advent calendar.
Yes, we found several pictures on Pinterest and kind of combined them into our own advent calendar pattern.
Yes, it combines some simple stuff with some not so simple stuff. We had to do a lot of math last night, but we're hoping our math actually calculates out correctly.
Well, I think that we might be able to make it in such a way that you don't need to do as complicated as
we'll show you some things as we're doing it that would be a simple way to do it versus the more complicated of doing it. So
yep.
I'm excited.
We have a lot of work to do. Let's get sewing.
Let's get sewing. We're making our advent calendar out of a tea towel. And it's a standard kitchen towel that you can get at any home goods store or wherever. And they're generally about 20 inches wide by 28, anywhere from 28 to 30 inches long. And we want a little longer than that. So we're gonna be taking one, cut it in half, and sew it to the end of the other one. And we lay these out in the store to make sure that the stripes matched so that when we sew it on the end, it'll match well and you won't see it. And plus we're gonna try to put a pocket line over that. So there'll be a little bit of a crease here. We're gonna cut this edge off of this towel and we're gonna sew these two pieces together so that we have a nice long advent calendar. Oh, and if you didn't want to use tea towels, you can just get canvas fabric and then cut out your section from that, or anything just basic. Nice, good thickness, I think would be better for the backing of it.
All right, I'm documenting my pockets so that I remember what rows I had picked out. The light's really on that one, but that is there. Okay. Update.
I'm starting to sew my pockets together because I'm not getting involved with Rachel's organization.
Yeah, I keep switching them around. It's driving her nuts.
Rachel, we should have just done two colors.
Yeah, but
on the pockets. That's
not who we are. We
are
always
we?
do everything more complicated than it needs to be.
I'm seam ripping already.
What happened to the days when we just did soup bowl cozies?
It took us 3 hours to film that show.
All right, we've sewn all our pockets together into strips. And now we're just gonna iron the seams.
So this is also another step that you can do that would be easier. We are doing different designs for each pocket, and what we mean by pocket, it's gonna have the number of the day of the month, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you didn't wanna do individual pockets, you could just do a long strip of fabric, just one color, and then just sew to create pockets in it. So you don't have to create additional squares. It would save probably a lot of time.
Yeah, we're just making it harder for ourselves.
Yes.
All right, we cut our pockets to be 6.5 inches long by 3.5 inches tall, and we sewed 4 of them together for a row. Now, if you just want to do the plain fabric option, you need to cut a piece of fabric that is 24.5 inches long by 3.5 inches tall, and you cut 2 of them, sew them together, and turn them inside out. And then we'll explain how to sew it onto your tea towel in a little bit.
I'm trying to flatten out the seams so that I can iron it so that I can get the full amount in, but it's really hard because I don't have nails and my chopstick is not 24 inches. I really need a 24-inch chopstick.
Like this one?
How do you randomly have a 24-inch chopstick?
From Orchids. If you guys need a 24-inch chopstick, use the stick from your orchid.
Hey, look, it's exactly 24 inches.
You can get all those corners on the end. It's that time of the month for our monthly tip. Just the tip. Today we're going to talk about our pockets and how we get them ironed. So first we take our 24-inch chopstick or orchid support and we poke the corners out. Then Brooke uses the iron to make the fabric supple.
Making it supple.
Yeah. Then I take the orchid chopstick and stick it in the seam
Then I take my fingers and follow as she pulls the tip out.
All the way to the end. And we go along the seam line so that we have a nice crisp edge.
Crisp with
Crisp.
a P. Like supple.
Supple and crisp.
And I'll iron that side. Next side.
Yeah, then we do the same thing on the other end. And now you'll have a nice edge to your pockets. I would suggest having a friend help you with this step, but you could probably do it alone. It would just take a little longer. Hope this helps.
And don't touch the iron. We're adding little ridges to our pockets so that they have a little bit of 3D and they hang out a little bit from the canvas so that you can stuff thick things in them. Yeah, you heard me. And it's interesting. We're going with a 1/4 inch fold. And then we got to go the other direction. Isn't this fun?
It certainly is. Brooke,
Huh?
what did you just say?
I said that this is the hardest part of the project and that it should just fly by after this. It'll just be easy.
Did you just curse us?
Maybe. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. This town ain't big enough for the both of us.
On guard.
Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
Is it Owen Eats?
No need to be filming.
That's what we do.
Enjoy your lunch.
I'm breaking my rule, Rachel, by listening to Christmas music today before Thanksgiving. So,
It's Christmas. What are you talking about, Brooke? It's December, remember?
there's still leaves on the tree.
In my world, it's December.
Oh.
We found these really fun vinyl stickers at our local craft store, and they had a whole selection of different sayings for the holidays, and we picked this one. So now we're cutting a piece of white towel, 8 1/4 by 5 1/4.
Yes.
2 of those so that we each have one for our towels, and that's has our seam allowance and a 1/2 inch around the picture that we chose. And then we're going to sew that onto our towels.
We are now going to be attempting to attach the numbers that we cut on a Cricut machine. Oh, it didn't work.
Oh, did not work.
Maybe we used the big iron.
Yeah, we have to use the big iron.
Big iron.
Big iron time. Brooke, are you double ironing right now?
I'm double ironing.
Oh, preheat. What number is that one?
9.
Okay.
This is me,
Yeah.
facing me.
I know the 6 and the 9 are the same. We decided the little iron wasn't hot enough to get the glue to stop, to melt. So we are preheating the fabric with the little iron and gluing it on with the big iron. This is pretty industrial strength glitter vinyl iron on. Okay, I have my vinyl sticker on the little white fabric, and then I have it 1.5 inches from the top, which has already been folded over for my dowel sleeve. And I have all the glitter numbers that Brooke so lovingly has ironed. And I've spaced them all out 1 inch apart. And I have pinned just the center, so I can just do one stitch down the middle. Just a heads up, this is very awkward to sew at this stage because we made our pockets bigger on purpose so we would have this little gusset, so when you stick your treats in, it's more of a pocket than just flat across. So, you know, we're having to like move things around, and now we can finally sew down these numbers, and then we have to do the sides. probably our last update here. I am sewing the very bottoms of our pockets. So I'm doing one long row, and while I'm going, I'm pinching our gussets here, so that is a nice seam there, and it creates these beautiful little pockets.
I think gusset is a fun word. Is that what it's really called, a gusset?
Yeah.
What does it mean? Gusset. Gusset.
It just gives you a little bit of extra room.
Oh, it's too much ice cream. My gusset hurts. Gusset. This month's plant of the month is the Thanksgiving and Christmas cactus. Yes, there's a Thanksgiving cactus and a Christmas cactus. There's also an Easter cactus, and there are some very subtle differences between them. This is a Thanksgiving cactus. There's no thorns, but the leaves have these little horns, I would call them, on them, little edges on them. And they do flower. I just don't have any flowering right now. There are tricks to get them to flower that involves putting them in a dark room for so many hours for so long. But I don't have the time to invest in that, so I enjoy them and then get a random flower once in a while. And then the Christmas cactus has a little bit more rounding edges of the leaves. So if you look at the difference here, you can see the difference quite well when they're both compared to each other. They're moderate to care for. They can be a little finicky and tricky, especially if they get overwatered. And they will drop leaves if they're a little unhappy. But if you drop the leaves, you could take the points and pop them into the soil to make babies. And then these are babies from a while ago, and these are the new leaves on them. So yay for Christmas and Thanksgiving cactus. If you go to your nursery now, you might be able to find some new ones in full bloom. They're pretty spectacular. We're done.
Yes, we have finished this most ambitious project.
Ta-da!
Yep.
This is Rachel's. It looks great.
Next time I would just do one color.
One color of the rose.
And no gussets. I would just do...
The gussets are nice if you want to put something big, but yeah. And then the cricket, she used a cricket to cut out the numbers because we had a hard time finding them.
Yeah, we couldn't find any iron-on or any
Iron-on numbers.
stick-on, anything. Mm-hmm. So we didn't plan far enough to order them online.
Yeah. And this one's mine. I used straps on the top because I forgot to allow seam allowance for the rod. So I had to improvise at the end and put straps on. But
that's okay.
Yeah. But it's really great.
How many fat quarters would you give it?
1. Because it was really hard and time consuming.
I'd give it a 5 because it was, I love the outcome. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I gave it 1 for how long it took, but I gave it 5 for the end results.
Oh yeah, 1 for how long it took. That was like 8 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And until next time, don't forget to be so awkward.